My name is Christina Burke, and I work with the CAJON CDC for the Lend a Hand program. And Lend a Hand works in local neighborhoods to repair and resurface deteriorating and damaged, aging housing in downtown El Cajon neighborhoods. On the surface, Lend a Hand is a neighborhood revitalization program. The heart of Lend a Hand is about creating homes out of houses and neighborhoods out of city blocks. Lend a Hand uses highly visible projects such as housing rehab events to engage residents and start the community building process. We start small, focusing on projects that the residents, with little guidance and support from us, can do on their own. These events show low to moderate income communities that change can happen very concretely overnight. With the recent revitalization of downtown El Cajon, it became really clear how the appearance of an area can really change the relationship people have with it. Prior to revitalization, downtown El Cajon had empty storefronts and deteriorating facades, which really deterred investors and welcomed criminal activity. It serves as a great analogy for our neighborhoods too, because so do broken windows and rundown city streets deter families from moving in and really welcome and attract more criminal elements to the environment. This is because neighborhoods that are decaying and are run down and are in disrepair lack connection and communication with the residents that live there. And so residents became more withdrawn because they couldn't walk down their neighborhood block with their little ones for fear that they would have run into graffiti and gang members and fights and trash and drug dealing. With this in mind, we began working on the first step to change the environment, and that was through the Lend a Hand housing improvements. When beginning the Lend a Hand process, we asked the residents, do you believe that neighbors can come together to solve community problems? And predominantly, they answered yes. We followed that by asking, are you willing to solve community problems with your neighbors? And overwhelmingly, the answer was no. And so we thought about that. It was very interesting. They would say, no, it could happen, but not in this community, not with my neighbors. And so by rehabilitating the block, these attitudes changed. We started rehabilitating the block with a landscaping day and planning for a fencing and exterior repair day and ending with a painting party. Most importantly, we looked for skills that were already present on the block, and we found carpenters, organizers, cooks, and willing volunteers, everything we needed for these events. I loved the painting party because there was a community mural at the end of the block, and we removed a 137-foot-long fence that was extremely visible on the neighborhood block. It was graffitied and termited. We removed it and built a brand new fence that we placed a community mural on. When we talked to the residents that had lived there 40+ years, they told us that they used to look out and see the orange groves and avocado groves in El Cajon. So the community painted a mural of these orange groves and avocado groves on this fence. It kept with the historic character of the community and was something that everyone contributed to. So each time a child or a grandparent or a mom walks by, they look at it and remember, I painted that mural. I created this change in the community. After seeing the almost magical, dramatic transformation on the block, the neighbors started to change the way they looked at Millar Avenue. They started to change the way they felt about the activities that happened there. They started to have ideas about what was neighborly activities and what were not, what was acceptable and what wasn't, what they had the power to change and where they could go when they didn't. The neighbors were proud, they were excited, they didn't want to stop. And this led to the second, deeper goal of Lend a Hand, creating locally sustainable communities. And so the residents established a neighborhood group exclusively led by the residents so that they could continue the work they started in rebuilding their community and to achieve new goals, goals that came straight from the communities, goals that reflected their values, goals that they envisioned. And most importantly, they were talking about these goals with each other and how they could make it happen. When I think about this block, I think of Matiana and Sebastian. I think of Isabella, and I think of the little kids that had nowhere to run around. And now they're outside playing. They're outside having a community. They're learning what it means to take care of the community, and that's what makes this program what it is. And all it took was a fresh coat of paint to get it all started. You can lend a hand too. Increase your neighborhood vitality and be a part of the change in your backyard.